Jan with Jan Patek Quilts, and I do needle turn applique and YouTube tutorials on needle turn applique. So what we're going to focus on today is structures. This is a schoolhouse. We've done houses. This is a great deal similar, but we'll do a little refreshing and then we'll show you the individual things for a schoolhouse. Okay, to begin with, when you're doing anything that's got the straight sides, I base them under, because it's a lot, I've said this lots of times before, it's a lot harder to base or to sew a straight line than it is a curve. So we basted the sides down on the house, and then we're going to put on the windows. Okay, now to do the windows, we'll get the roof out of the way for a while. To do the windows, what we do, I'm using that instead of doing it straight. This is my sandpaper board, my trusty sandpaper board. Okay, iron your freezer paper, cut your freezer paper window out of freezer paper. Yeah, you wouldn't want to cut it out anything else, would you? Anyway, cut your freezer paper window out and iron it to your fabric you're going to use. Then, when you're cut, and this is about 3/8 instead of a 1/4, and it's because you're going to fold it over the paper, and that does take a little extra. So if you want it exactly the same size as the pattern, that's what you do, is you cut your seam allowance a little bigger. Okay, that was ironed on. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take it off and turn it over and try to kind of center it. Now take your fabric and fold it, and I usually finger press it first. Now I'm taking my little clover iron. You can do this with a big one, but you're more likely to burn your fingers. And press it down along that side. Turn, and see, this is why you cut a little wider, because even cutting wider, I don't have much on this side. It happens every time. Okay, now we're going to press that down. Now we take our glue pen and glue just the ends where the fabric is touching fabric, and then glue it down. And it will stick. Now you can, because I've done it before, and when I first started doing windows, I glued it down, I glued it all the way across instead of just at the corners. But, all right, that's going up there. Isn't that a cute little stand? That doesn't come with the iron, sorry ladies, but it's really cute. Anyway, now you're going to sew your windows onto your house that's already been basted down. You do the door exactly the same way. The reason I'm using the clover iron instead of the, where's my scissors? Here they are. Thing is, I'm going to show you how easy it is to reach under here, just cut a slit, and now this isn't glued down, except, in fact, it's never glued down, just the corners of the fabric are. So you pull it out like that. It's just so easy to get out when you do that. Now, the only drawback to doing things this way, and I will show you, is sometimes you goof and your finger slips and you cut all the way through. And I did that right here. I suppose you could take the whole window off, and if you're a little OCD, and a lot of people are, and there's nothing wrong with it, you can take the whole window off and do it again. But I usually just tend to patch mine. So I made a little patch and I sewed it on, and then I embroidered the window panes over it instead of taking the whole window off. And anytime I cut through on my applique, that's what I tend to do. is just make a patch out of fabric, either the same fabric or one that's closely similar, and cut it. This is primitive quilting, and I like primitive quilting. Okay, now we've got that done. We've got our windows on. We've got to put the roof on, and we will baste the whole roof down, because we're not only, let me get that white piece of paper out of the way, we'll just put him down there. Okay. We're going to baste along the lines, and what we will do here is take our glue again. And what I do is just dot it here. And you can see I left my basting thread there. We'll cut him off. There. We'll set that on. Glue him on. And then you stitch that on that side. Now we've got our little bell tower, because this is a schoolhouse, so it's a school bell. And you do the bell tower almost exactly the same way, but you just iron under the sides, because both this end and this end are going to go under something else. This will go under the top. And what I would do now is glue that down. And we did the roof exactly the same way, so on the bell tower, so we'd get it nice and straight. We used the paper, and we just ironed it under and then glued the edges. So now we have paper behind there and that. But this is going to go under here. Okay, so now to recap what we've done today. We basted down the edges of the house. We ironed down the windows and then flipped them over and ironed the edges down, stitched the windows to the schoolhouse, basted the roof, then sewed it to the schoolhouse, made our little bell tower, leaving open the ends, and then sewed the whole thing to the background. We hope you've enjoyed this tutorial from J & Patek Quilts. If you have, please subscribe to our channel. Thanks, and have a good day.